Hey there guys, welcome back to another painting video. First of all, I would just like to say a huge thank you to Monster Fight Club. They are the sponsors of this week's video and any videos featuring these miniatures. They were kind enough to send me two of the starter gangs for their Cyberpunk Combat Zone Red miniatures game, tabletop game. And this one here is from the Danger Girls. They sent me the Danger Girls starter gang and the Bozos starter gang with a few extra miniatures um, that I'll be showing you painting videos on. So, I'm not sure of the exact name of this particular one from the Danger Girls. They did have the names written on their tabs, but obviously you cut the tab off to glue the miniature to the base. So I can't remember the name of this one, and they didn't send me the cards. It was just the miniatures that they sent me, not the cards. So I can't play with them. Um, but yeah, the idea is to show you how to paint some of these up with some cool colours. So first of all, here I've got some Corvus Black, and I am using pretty much all Games Workshop or Citadel paint for this, and I'm using here a size 1 Series S Artist Opus brush, just in case you want to know what the brushes are. At some point I do switch to a size 2, and I think that is it. I just use a size 1 and 2, but it's a Series S. So all I'm doing here is taking the Corvus Black, and I've gone for Corvus Black over Abaddon Black because it's a slightly cooler black. It has a little bit of a blue tint to it. It's not that really deep black, which I thought would make for a nicer look to the black areas. So all I'm doing here is just going over. This will be applied to you can see here the corset, the belt strap for the bag that she has going across her front, the weapons pouch, the pistol pouch on her leg, also her boots and the gun that she's holding. Okay, next I'm taking some Xerius Purple. I think I pronounced that right. And I'm using this for the skirt and her. I'm not sure if it's a belt or sort of like the top part of the skirt. But yeah, applying that there as well as the cuffs on her jacket and her the cuffs on the top of her boots. She has these sort of, I'm not sure if they're cuffs of the boots or socks that fold over, um, or sort of rolled up. But either way, yeah, the white area at the top there that you can see will be done in this as well, and also her hair and ears. It looks like she's got like those cat ear headbands that some girls like to wear. So yeah, Xerius purple over all of those areas. Once that's done, I'm now taking some Nagaroth Night. I think that's what it was called, the Nagaroth colour, and I'm applying this in the darker recesses and the right, or sorry, the left-hand slope on the right-hand side, if that makes sense, of each of the folds, to represent the light coming from the left-hand side of the model on the front, or the right-hand side on the back. So you can see here, I'm just painting up the sides. What I then do is apply this obviously underneath, and I use it just to put a little bit of detail in the sort of the folds. And you can see here, using it as the, not highlight, but a slightly more purple tone to the corset. I wanted the corset to be a very dark purple leather, which is why I use the Corvus Black underneath, and then this can go over the top, and it's going to give a much darker look to the corset, and obviously the bag here as well. For the corset, I then go back into the Xerius purple, and I'm using this as the next layer of highlighting just on the more raised area. This is slightly thinned down. You can see that it's quite thin on the palette there. And I'm just highlighting the upper curved portion of the corset. And for the final edge highlight, I'm just taking some Gene Stealer purple and going down a little way down, this is thin down, into the left side of the skirt here, and obviously on the very sharpest edge of that. I then also go around the trim of her sock, or the edges of her sock, and do the same there, as well as the cuffs of her sleeve and the trim of her jacket around the back. I'll make a small highlight just at the bottom and top edges of the each of those individual ribbed areas. I'll also use this as a final point highlight just on the corset area, and some edge highlighting on the bag. So you can see here I'm just picking out the details on the cuffs of the jacket. And for the hair here, you can see I've already done it with the Xerix purple, and now I'm using the Gene Stealer purple just to pick out those raised areas of the hair, just to give a couple of different tones in there and give it a bit more definition. Now, I said I painted the ears earlier. That was a mistake. I think I do actually do it with this purple, the lighter purple, as I wanted them to stand out from the hair a little bit. Okay, so with all of the purple done, it's now time to work on the jacket itself. And for this, I'm using one of my favourite yellows. This is actually from Vallejo. It's their game colour range, and I can't remember the exact yellow, as I've had to transfer it to a different dropper bottle because this paint set, the Vallejo game colour paint set, was given to me by a friend, and he'd actually lost the lid for this yellow. So I transferred it to the bottle, and unlike Citadel paints, you can't take the labels off the Vallejo bottles too easy without them ripping. And so, yeah, I've not got the name of this yellow, unfortunately. I think it was Sunburst Yellow, possibly, but it's the one that you get in the starter set, like the 12 or 18 page starter set, whatever it is that they do. So if you have a look at that, you'll see which yellow it is. But it does go on very nice. It is a little bit more thinned down where I transferred it to a different bottle, but it still goes on beautifully. I always do 2 thin layers anyway, but with this, you can see you really don't need it over the top of white. One is enough. But yeah, so that's the jacket, and we'll have a look at the next part of this. Okay, with the base layers for the jacket done, I'm now doing the skin, and all I'm doing for this is a Cadian flesh tone, again thinned down and going over the well, the flesh areas. So that's the legs, the hands, and her chest and face. Okay, so I'm now taking some Reikland Flesh Shade Wash and applying this all over the skin areas and also the yellow parts of the jacket. I'm giving this a fairly heavy wash, but I'm making sure not that it doesn't pool too much in areas. So you see me applying a good amount on, and then I'll wick some away with the brush. And you can see I'm doing it, actually I think I do it over the purple as well, to sit in the recesses there, at least on the cuffs. Obviously, I'm saying this because I've pre-painted and recorded this, and I am now voice overing at a slightly later date. So it's, I'm trying to remember exactly what I did, which is why I still haven't painted the ears there. So you can see here, getting it to sit nice and heavy in those recesses. It also gives the jacket, that sort of brighter or not brighter, that slightly more orangey tint to it. I will take this part in the video just to thank you guys for watching. If you are enjoying the video, please be sure to hit that like button, as it shows me that you're enjoying the videos. It helps with the video get out more on the YouTube algorithm. And if you would like to purchase these miniatures, you can visit the Monster Fight Club website. There will be a link down in the description, and I think you can buy from, they do have an online store that you can buy from. If you want to help the channel with an affiliate link, there is one for Element Games down there as well. If you use the affiliate link with Element Games, I believe they sell cyberpunk miniatures, then we get a little bit, the channel gets a little bit of a kickback from whatever you spend. So it's no extra cost to you, but you know, we get a little bit of money there. So you can see, yeah, I do go over the purple, and that wash will just sit down in there without tinting that highlight, the purple highlight at all. So yeah, go and check out the website. If you want to see me play the game and do some tutorials on that, as well as unboxings, let me know down in the description, because I don't own it. I did ask them if they could send me the board game, the 2-player starter set, but they weren't willing to do that. I no hate on them. They were kind enough to send me these miniatures instead, so perfectly awesome. But if you do want to see that, let me know, and I will see what I can do. Either see if they'll sponsor some more videos with that. If not, I will see if I can buy the board game or the tabletop game and have a look through that, and do some videos on that for you. Okay, so once that shade, that wash has dried, I'm using here a 50-50 mix of the Xerix purple and the Cadian flesh tone, just to get this lighter pink. And that is what I do the ears with, just to give them something slightly different to the purple. I also use this as a final edge highlight on the top peaks of the skirt and the sort of the upper portion of her hair. Again, just as an extra bit of highlight. Okay, so with all the purple now completely finished, I'm going back to the jacket with that same yellow, and I'm just picking out the large flat areas, leaving that Reichland flesh shade wash in the recesses, and leaving the tinted yellow on the flat areas on the sort of like the underarm part of the area, just for a little bit of shadow there. Okay, so I'm now taking some phalanx yellow. This is again is the citadel yellow now, and I'm using this as an edge highlight for the jacket, and just on some of those more raised, sort of the upper areas and upper portion of the arm, and just really going around and picking out the details. Okay, so I'm now using a sort of glaze of Kislev flesh to build up a lighter tone on the skin areas. I'm leaving a lot of that Cadian flesh tone, or the tinted flesh tone, in the recesses and sort of the shadow areas. And you can see here, I've just added a little bit more water. I'm keeping my brush, or the paint on my brush, to a minimum, um, so that it works well as a glaze, that I can then build up a little bit and get it lighter. As it dries, it does go a little bit duller as the that undertone shows through a little bit. Okay, for the black areas, I'm using some Incubi Darkness as a mid-tone. So I'm covering the majority of the black leather areas with this, all over the boot, the weapon pouch. I think that's actually, oh, and the belt. This has a slightly, again, I'm going for sort of a blue-green leather, rather than the sort of a black greys. So the colours that I'm using here do have more of a green in them. You can see here where I did on the heel of the boot there, and then the top of that sort of that thick strap bit at the top of the boot, leaving the middle with that Corvus black. And this just gives the impression of light hitting those sort of the top areas that are going to be a little bit more parallel with the ground. Obviously all along the top of the boot here, leaving sort of the little creases and stuff with that Corvus black in there. For the next layer of highlight, and on the pistol pouch here, I'm using Stegodon Scale Green, and I'm giving this a slightly thicker edge highlight, as I'm going to be adding in a sort of a point edge highlight or a fine edge highlight with the next step. So just going around all of the outer areas now where the light would catch, and sort of the flat parallel to the ground surface areas. I'm also doing this on the pistol handle and the gun in her hand. I wanted to have it to have a black look to the gun. And for the final highlight here, I'm just mixing up a grey, sort of a blue-grey highlight colour. So you can see it's a little bit of the white. This is Vallejo Game Colour white. Some of the Stegodon Stick Scale Green with a touch of the Incubi Darkness in there, just to get this really cool blue grey for edge highlighting. I'll then go around all of those edge highlights, just sort of the corners of things, and just you can see I'm just picking it in just for a little bit of detailing and where the light is catching, only on the upper portions. Obviously I'm not going to put this on the underside of anything. Okay, and finally I'm just using some lead belcher for some metallic details, this mainly being the bullets in the drum magazine, the end of the barrel there, and then I just sort of stipple it down the edge of the gun there, just to act as some of the paint has chipped away, you know, a bit of damage and that on the gun. I've also done a part of the pistol in metallic, and then also any buckles. She has one on the top of her shoulder strap for the handbag, and a couple if the camera focuses, autofocus being on. Just try to switch it over. There we go. So yeah, you can see a couple of little buckles there that I just pick out the small details with that metallic paint. And then that is job done. And there she is, the completed or finished model. So obviously the base I haven't gone and properly done yet. I've just given it a quick coat of black, as I'm still deciding on what I want to do for the overall sort of theme of the bases for all of the models. So I'm going to wait until they're all painted before I do that. And obviously a little bit of the black has worn off, but that doesn't matter, be touched up. But yeah, there she is. If you've enjoyed this video, guys, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want any more information on the Cyberpunk Red Factions tabletop game, then you can check the link below. And I would also once again like to thank Monster Fight Club for sending me these miniatures to paint up for you. I actually really enjoyed painting this one and can't wait to get on with the rest. If you did enjoy the video, obviously hit that like button. If you have not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button. The channel is slowly growing, but obviously the more followers I can get, the faster it will grow. So if we can get you guys up to 1,000 subscribers within the next few months, that will be awesome. And obviously a huge thank you to anyone who has already subscribed. But that is all from me, guys. So as always, until next time, take it easy and keep painting those minis.